Would you like to make an easy gift? This adorable gnome card has a matching ornament that you can tuck inside. So easy and cute. Hello everyone, Jennifer Maker here. I can show you how to make this gnome gift set super easy. These gnomes are really so fun to make. I'll show you 3 ways to make these cute ornaments. You can use metallic poster board or normal cardstock to create the look you want. But which one is better? Once they're done, I'll show you how well they turned out so you can decide which way you want to make them. And you don't have to worry about wrapping because I'll also show you how to make a matching card that the ornament fits right inside of, just like this. You can make a whole bunch of these in a day and send them to lots of friends and loved ones. Be sure to also stick around to the end because I'll also show you how to get and assemble a bonus envelope that fits the set perfectly. And along the way, I'll share some of my best tips on working with paper, from picking, cutting, and assembling. It really all starts with high quality paper because that's the star here, in addition to the gnomes, of course. Better quality cardstock is made with longer, more uniform fibers, so they cut instead of tear when the blade goes through them. The 65-pound cardstock in my materials list worked really well for the layered ornament and most of the card pieces. But I'll also show you how to sneak in some sparkle with metallic poster board, isn't that pretty? Or even some glitter cardstock. I do suggest using heavier cardstock for the envelope, like the additional white option that I've listed in my materials list. You want the envelope to hold up in the mail so your gifts arrive safely. And better yet, everything works well with high quality craft glue, like my favorite kind by Barely Art. The precision tip will let us put the glue right where we need it. Now, getting clean cuts can be a challenge when you're learning how to do Cricut paper crafts, and that's because there are a lot of variables. And the design is a big part of it, so I've made sure the design has smooth shapes that won't give your machine trouble. The material setting controls how hard the machine presses the fine point blade down during the cuts, as well as its speed, and whether it uses one pass or multiples to complete the cuts. But don't worry, I'll show you the settings that work best for me. Just keep in mind that not all machines are the same, so it's always a good idea to make a test cut first, just in case you need to adjust the pressure. I use my Cricut Maker 3 cutting machine to cut the materials, but the original Maker, Cricut Explorer, Explorer Air 2, the Big Venture, and the Joy Extra will cut everything out with no problems. If you have the original Cricut Joy, the ornaments will fit on your normal mat, and I made you specially sized designs for cards that you can make in the For Joy Users folder. Now I use my trusty green standard grip machine mat for all of the cardstock, but I started with a fresh mat for this project. Keeping your cardstock perfectly in place lets the Cricut work at its peak efficiency, since it's less likely to tear the paper then. I love sticky mats. Remember, check out the tools and materials list for details on everything, including the links on where to get them reliably. So let me show you how to get the designs and we'll upload them and then we'll begin. Step 1, get my gnome ornament designs. First, download the design folder below this video. The folder has SVG and DXF files that you can cut with a cutting machine. There's also a PDF that you can cut by hand if you need to. In this video, I'll show you how to prepare the SVG cut file in Cricut Design Space. In the SVG folder, there are 6 card options and 3 ornament designs. We'll do the ornaments first, then the cards. There are 3 ornament designs that you can make, one with a flower, one with a present, and another with a winter theme. I'll show you how to make the gnome ornament with a present in 3 different ways. You can use the same techniques for the other versions too. If you're not sure how to use these files, go to jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to download and unzip files. Step 2, prepare your gnome ornament design. On a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space, click Uploads, then select Upload Image. Click Browse and find the design that you want in the SVG folder. I'll use the gift ornament design. Then click Upload to add it to your canvas. I'll click Save and give my project a name before we get any further. Here's how my file looks on the canvas. Since the design is so intricate, I do not recommend making this any smaller than it is right now. At this size, it will fit inside the A7 envelope with the card that we'll also make. If you want to make an ornament out of metallic poster board, the paper is thick enough that it will work as an ornament right away. If you don't mind the back being white, you're ready to cut. But I also want to make a double-sided metallic version, so I'll duplicate the original, then I'll duplicate it again for the other side. Then click Flip and select Flip horizontally to create a mirrored version to sandwich during assembly and cover up the white. Let's also make an ornament using cardstock instead of poster board as another option. So I'll duplicate the original once more. Now cardstock isn't as sturdy as poster board, typically, so we'll need to make this one thicker. Duplicate the design twice so you can layer them later on, and don't worry, I'll show you how to do that. But right now, Cricut Design Space thinks we want to cut all 6 pieces on the same material because everything is the same color. I want to use green cardstock for the layered ornament, so I'll click and drag over all 3 of those pieces to select them. Then use the color box next to Operation to set them to a new color. That way, the Cricut will put the pieces for that ornament on a new mat. I'll also change the one-sided ornament to teal under the advanced options, and the two-sided version to red to match my materials. You are now ready to cut. Make sure the correct machine is selected and click Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the material size matches the poster board or cardstock you're using for each color. I'm going to use 12 by 12 inch paper for everything, so I won't make any changes, but feel free to make changes as you need to. Since these ornaments have lots of delicate cuts, I'll drag them apart a bit more on the preview mats. The Cricut will cut them right where we place them on the screen, so we can make more space to make removing the cut pieces easier. Click back on the first mat to make it load first on the next screen, then click Continue in the lower right corner. On the Make screen, search for and select the settings needed for your first mat. Mine is metallic poster board, so I'll click Browse All Materials and search for metallic. Select your material and click Done. I set the pressure to More for a cleaner cut. For the plain cardstock, I use the medium cardstock 80-pound setting. Then I'll put a piece of my matching poster board face up on a green standard grip machine mat and use a brayer to make sure it's fully adhered. Be gentle with this material because the metallic surface really shows creases. Now check that your fine point blade is clean and in the clamp because any dust or paper fibers can mess up your intricate cuts. Then load the mat into the machine and press the Go button. If you have any issues getting clean cuts, go to jennifermaker.com/cleanercuts. When the machine stops cutting, don't unload the mat right away. Instead, gently lift a corner of the cardstock to make sure the cuts went all the way through. If not, press that Go button, that middle button again, to make another cut pass in the same spots. When all the cuts are going all the way through, unload the mat. Now flip the mat over and roll it back to release the poster board. This helps prevent the material from curling and ripping. Try to keep the ornaments flat as you remove them to avoid creasing that pretty surface, and use a spatula to help because they're really delicate. If you're making the layered cardstock version, adhere your material to a green standard grip machine mat really well with your brayer so the cuts will go well. And when you're ready to remove the cut pieces, take your time to avoid tearing any delicate sections. The spatula is extra important for this version. Step 3. Assemble your gnome ornaments. First, we'll make the single-sided poster board ornament. Cut a piece of ribbon about 10 inches long. Then just loop it through the ornament's hanger spot and tie it closed. That's all there is to it. Now for the double-sided metallic ornament. Place the cut ornament pieces pretty side down. Add small dots of glue to the back of one, but don't get too close to the edges. Gently flip the glued piece and hold it over the face down one to make sure they will align. Then lower it in place. Press the layers together and wipe any excess glue away with a paper towel because it can make the metallic surface cloudy. Once the glue is dry, add a loop of ribbon to the hanger and the double-sided ornament is done. The layered cardstock ornament. Place 2 layers face down and 1 face up, so it mirrors the others. Add small dots of glue to the back of one face down piece, but don't get too close to the edges. Lightly place the glued piece on a face up layer. Before pressing it down, gently adjust the layers so they're perfectly or practically perfectly aligned. Press them in place and let the glue dry for several seconds. Then glue the third layer on top of the others. Let the ornament dry completely, then add a loop of ribbon and you're done. So how do these ornaments compare? The one made with the metallic poster board is very pretty and quite stiff. It would last many years. The one made with just a single layer of cardstock is a little floppy. This one may only last a single event or holiday or year, perhaps. But the double layered cardstock gives the ornament the rigidity I think it needs. It's just a little plain compared to the metallic poster board one, so you may want to fancy up your gnome a little bit with some paint or glitter. My personal favorite is the metallic poster board ornament. Now let's make the matching gnome card with a cute shaped edge. Step 1, get my card design files. The same download folder also has everything you need to make a cute card to go with your ornament. The SVG folder has 3 card designs with gnomes featuring flowers, presents, and winter elements. Each card has a no score option that uses dash cut lines to create creases and a score option that uses a scoring tool instead. You can use either option depending on your machine, tools, and preferences. Just remember that the Cricut Joy and Cricut Joy Extra do not have score capabilities. Step 2, prepare and cut your card. On a blank canvas in Cricut Design Space, click Upload, then select Upload Image. Click Browse and find the design you want in the SVG folder. I'll use the 5 by 7 inch score version of the card with GIFs. Then click Upload to add it to the canvas. I'll click Save and give my project a name before we get any further. Now select the card and click Ungroup to work with the elements separately. I always recommend you ungroup a project when you first upload it because it's usually grouped by default. In the Layers panel, one layer has an arrow to its side, meaning it has grouped layers. Click the arrow to expand the group layers. Then click the layer that just has lines and is colored red in the color box. I make my intended score lines red so they're easier to find. Click the Operation drop-down menu and select Score to adjust the layer. It will change from a solid to dashed. Select the layer with the arrow to select both grouped layers. Then click Attach to keep the score and basic cut layers together. Your card is ready. And that's it, it's time to cut. Make sure the correct machine is selected in the top right and click Make. You can change the material size to match each paper you're using. I'm using 12 by 12 inch material for everything, so I'm just going to keep it as is, but feel free to change it if you need to. Select the first mat and then click Continue. On the Make screen, click Browse All Materials. Search for and select the settings needed for the materials you are using. I used medium cardstock 80 pound with more pressure for both the plain cardstock and the glitter cardstock, with more pressure for the glittery white piece. Both will work well with the green standard grip machine mat. Follow the cutting instructions from the ornament project earlier in this workshop to prepare and cut your materials following the Design Space prompts. After you cut the glitter cardstock, take a moment to clean your blade. My favorite quick way is to poke the blade very carefully into a ball of aluminum foil several times to knock any fibers off. Or you can use rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth like a little prep pad. Just be very careful because the blade is sharp. For the best results, clean the blade between each intricate cut layer and after cutting glittery materials because that glitter can really stick to the blade and housing. And be careful when removing intricate pieces from the mat. Use a spatula to carefully remove any delicate parts and a weeding tool to pop out any small pieces. Step 3. Assemble your gnome side edge card. Gather your gnome card pieces. For the gift design, there is one large exterior card piece and 5 smaller liner pieces. Place the card's exterior pretty side down if you're using one-sided cardstock, with the gnome shapes on the left. Place your scraper on the crease and fold the gnome side over to make the card shape. The scraper will help keep the crease straight. You can also sharpen the crease by running the scraper down the closed fold. Open the card face down so the cutout designs are on the left. Stack your liner pieces face up in order so the design looks complete other than missing the white top layer. If you're not sure on the order, just refer back to Cricut Design Space's canvas to see what order everything should be in. Now add craft glue to the inside of the card base, around the cutouts, and out to the edges. I really like the precision tip on the Barely Art glue because I can get that glue exactly where I want it. Grab the top liner piece with the most cutouts and hold it over the glued base piece. Line up the cutouts because the liner is slightly smaller than the base layer. There will be a thin edge of the base layer showing around the liner when they're aligned. Press the liner down to adhere it to the card. And make sure the cutouts are flush and adjust the liner if needed before the glue dries. If any excess glue seeps out from the inside, use a paper towel to dab it away. Add thin lines of glue to the back of the first liner just like you did to the card. Then align the next layer and press it in place. Really focus on aligning the cutouts so that the layers will show correctly from the front. Now keep layering the liners the same way, finishing up with a solid piece. If you're using glitter cardstock like I am, make sure to add glue all around the edge of the other liner so there's enough to adhere to the textured surface. Once the final liner is in place, press it down well and then wipe away any extra glue from both sides and let it dry flat. Simplify your side edge card. If you'd like to try a card with fewer liner layers but don't want to lose any of the details, you can do it with a few extra steps. Start with the original card selected on your canvas. I'll stick with the scored version of the gift gnome. Click Duplicate to make a copy of the original as a reference in case you need it. In the Layers panel, click the eye icon next to the bottom design to hide it. Select the remaining card and click Ungroup to work with the layers. Click the card's exterior and move it away from the liners, but remember that it will help create the final look by outlining all the cutouts. Drag the inner liner layers apart so the top one with the most cutouts is on the left and the solid liner is on the right. To make this simplified card look similar to the original, you need to decide how many colors you want to use and which cutouts can be filled with the same colors. When everything is assembled, you'll see through each layer's cutout until you reach a liner that is solid in that section. If you look at the nose, it's cut out in the red, green, and teal layers, but solid in the peach layer. That's how you can pick which color to use for which element. We need at least the top liner with all the cutouts and the solid base layer, so leave those alone for now. And I know I want to use white glitter cardstock for the bottom solid layer for the gnome's beard, pom-pom, and gloves. The peach layer is only used for the nose, so I plan to fill that with white glitter instead. That's one less layer. Then if we compare the green and teal layers, the teal is only used for the boots and sparkles. I can use green for those without losing any details. Red will work nicely with the green and white glitter, so I'll keep the top liner red. So we have our colors, but if you select the liners and use align then center to match them up, they won't look correct. So don't worry, right? That's because we need to make a new middle layer with the correct settings for our new color plan. So drag the liners apart and then delete the middle liner. Duplicate the top liner because it has all of the cutouts that we need for the design, and then move it into the middle. Select the solid liner. Click the color box next to Operation and set the bottom liner to the color you want. I'll keep this layer light gray and cut it from white glitter cardstock. In the Layers panel, double-click on the name of the bottom solid liner to edit the text. I recommend typing something like Liner 1 White Glitter or the color and material that you plan to use for it to rename the layer. On the canvas, select the middle layer. Use the color box to make it the color you want. I'm going to use green. Then in the Layers panel, double-click the middle liner's layer and rename it. I'll call it Liner 2-Green. Do the same for the top liner, which I'll rename Liner 3 Red. If your liners are out of order in the Layers panel, click and drag them until the top liner is at the top, followed by the others in descending order. On the canvas, drag a bounding box over all of the liner layers. Click Align, then center to make the liners match since they all have the same exterior shape. Now select the card exterior and click Arrange, then Bring to Front, so it's visible above any other overlapping pieces. Move the card exterior over to align with the stacked liners as well as you can. You can click the plus icon to zoom in and see the details better if you need to. Remember, the design won't look correct yet since at least 2 of the liners have matching cutouts. So to begin filling in some of the cutouts with your middle liner, select Liner 2 in the Layers panel, then click Contour. The pop-up contour window shows the cuts that create this layer in a preview and in a list of single cuts. To remove a cutout from this liner and make the color visible through the layer, click it in either the preview or list. Active cuts are dark gray on the preview and will get lighter if you click them to turn them off. They'll also turn gray in the list of single cuts. I'll click the sparkles, hat stripes, middle gift ribbon pieces, and boots to turn them off on this liner. Click the X to return to the canvas and see the results so far. You should now see more of the second liner's color through the cutouts. You can leave the top liner as it is or use the contour process to adjust the design. The card has a lot of green now, so I'll click the pieces for the present at the side to make them red instead. Once you're happy with the simplified design, delete the original reference. Then you can follow the tutorial from earlier to finish preparing, cutting, and assembling your simplified card design. All right, how about an envelope? I also made you a special envelope just for your cute gnome card as a bonus. I'll share the bonus download link for that in just a moment. Let me first show you how it works. There are 2 envelope options in the folder. The files with the A6 in them will fit a 4x6 inch card, like the versions in the folder for Joy users, so the smaller cards. And the files with A7 in the file name will fit a 5x7 inch card, which are the ones in the main folder. Each envelope has a no score option that uses dash cut lines to create creases, and a score option that uses a scoring tool instead. You can use either option depending on your machine, tools, and preferences. Use the same steps I showed you earlier with the card to add the matching envelope to your canvas. I'll use the no score version of the A7 envelope to show you how the crease lines differ. Now let's prepare this envelope. If you want to cut the envelope's exterior out of heavier cardstock, use the color box to change the white pieces to another unused color. I'll use a darker gray. If you want to make the liner match a different color in the card, select that layer in the Layers panel. Then click the color box and select an option from the Material Color section, which means you aren't adding a color to the project. I'll make my liner the same green as my elf layer. Follow the steps I showed you earlier to cut this card from cardstock. I used a heavier weight cardstock for these, but I was still able to use the medium cardstock setting with more pressure. Now let's assemble it. Grab your envelope pieces. There is a large main piece, the flap, and the liner. Place the flap face down and add thin lines of craft glue around the cutouts and along the edges, avoiding the tab for now. Hold the liner face up and align it over the glued flap, then press it in place. Make sure it doesn't touch the crease line. And wipe away any glue that oozes into the cutout areas. Once the flap is dry, place it face up and add thin lines of glue to the front of the tab. Hold the large envelope face up over the glue with its long, straight edge aligned just barely below the flap's crease. That way it will still fold smoothly. Gently press the pieces together. Check that the flap can easily move and adjust the pieces if you need to before the glue dries. Once the assembled envelope is dry, place it face down. Fold up along the creases to see where the bottom piece will overlap the side sections. Fold the bottom back down and leave the sides folded in. Then add thin lines of glue to them where the pieces will overlap. Now you don't want to add so much glue that it will squish out and adhere the insides of the envelope together, but you also need the pieces to stay together during mailing. Fold the bottom piece back up and hold it on the glue until the envelope sets and let it dry. If you want to send a set to a friend, just place the ornament inside the card and slip them in the envelope together. Since it's the same size as a normal envelope, you can mail it just like any other card. To get this fun bonus envelope, be sure to download this from the link that you see on your screen right now. This will also get you subscribed to my awesome mailing list, where I will continue to send you free designs regularly as well as share updates. And if you love this gift set but want to create your own gnome with a personality all its own, it is possible to customize or even create your own design using my Build a Gnome kit. This is an example, but there's so many different ways that you can build your own gnome. And you can learn how to do this in my popular advanced program. You get to make your very own gnome, like this adorable one holding a cup of coffee or tea or whatever, or one of many other variations using my kit. It's super fun and super easy. I have a complete design workshop on how to create your own design to add to the card. I'll show you how to use several of Cricut Design Space's design features, as well as share some tips to make sure your layers will make the composition that you want. It is so fun to be able to make these popular projects unique and special. And that is exactly what I teach in my advanced program. And if you enjoyed crafting with me today, I think you will love it in advance. In my program, I help you advance your crafting skills through monthly design workshops, easy to customize templates, unpublished files from my personal collection, printable cheat sheets, and so much more. You'll get access to all of the workshops and templates for all of the projects you see on your screen right now. And it's perfect for both beginners and experienced crafters alike. With every project, I give you new templates or extra files, a detailed list of tools and materials, a complete step-by-step tutorial, an extra design workshop to really understand how to personalize the project, plus a cheat sheet and printable instructions with photos. Basically everything that I could think of that would help you. My members tell me the advanced workshops really encourage creativity and boost confidence using the machines. Every week, there's something new and exciting. Plus, my members get a small business license when they join, and I love seeing them earn extra money by selling the crafts they make using my design and templates. They want to, of course, totally optional. We also have a special social group where we craft together and have fun with monthly challenges. I motivate all of our members to make something special for the month based on certain prompts that I come up with, and we turn it into a little game. It is so much fun. We laugh, we learn, we share our projects, and we inspire each other. It is a wonderful community of big-hearted crafters. We have over 8,000 members at the time I'm making this video, and they're all so encouraging of one another. Crafting together like this is such a special experience, and I really hope you'll consider joining us. And the best part is that it doesn't cost much. The monthly fee is way less than a trip to the craft store. Basically, usually less than a trip to Starbucks, in fact. So be sure to check the description below this video for a special link and a coupon code to save even more. I can't wait to craft with you. I hope you found this workshop helpful and that you'll make your own little gnomes. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.